A roll of arms is a collection of coats of arms, usually consisting of rows of painted pictures of shields, each shield accompanied by the name of the person bearing the arms. The oldest extant armorials date to the mid-13th century, and armorial manuscripts continue to be produced throughout the early modern period. Siebmachers' Wappenbuch of 1605 was an early instance of a printed armorial. Medieval armorials usually include a few hundred coats of arms, in the late medieval period sometimes up to some 2,000. In the early modern period, the larger armorials develop into encyclopedic projects, with the Armorial Général de France, commissioned by Louis XIV of France, listing more than 125,000 coats of arms. In the modern period, the tradition develops into projects of heraldic dictionaries edited in multiple volumes, such as the Dictionary of British Arms in 4 volumes, or Siebmachers' Gross's Wappenbuch in 7 volumes. Armorials can be occasional, relating to a specific event such as a tournament, institutional, associated with foundations, such that of an order of chivalry, regional, collecting the arms of the nobility of a given region, illustrative, in the context of a specific narrative, a chronicle, or general, with the aim of an encyclopedic collection. A roll of arms arranged systematically by design, with coats featuring the same principal elements grouped together as a tool to aid identification, is known as an ordinary of arms. Notable examples: medieval English Glover's roll is an English roll of arms from the 1240s or 1250s, containing 55 coats of arms. The Matthew Paris Shields is a roll dating from c. 1244 to 59, during the reign of Henry III, containing drawings of shields with Latin annotations. Walford's roll is an English roll dating from c. 1275, containing 185 coats with blazons. The Camden roll is an English roll dating from c. 1280, containing 270 painted coats, 185 with blazons. The Dering roll, dating from the late 13th century, contains 324 coats of arms, painted on parchment. It is 8¼ inches wide by 8 feet 8 inches long. It currently resides in the British Library. The Herald's roll is an English roll dating from c. 1280, containing 697 painted coats. St. George's roll is an English roll dating from c. 1285, containing 677 painted coats. Charles's roll is an English roll dating from c. 1285, containing 486 painted coats. Planchet, however, names as Charles's roll a copy of a mid-13th century roll containing nearly 700 coats drawn in pen and ink by Nicholas Charles. Lancaster Herald, in 1607. Charles stated that the original had been lent to him by the Norroy King of Arms. The Lord Marshal's roll is an English roll dating from 1295, containing 565 painted coats. Collins' roll is a roll dating from 1296, containing 598 painted coats. It currently resides at the College of Arms in London. The Falkirk roll is an English occasional roll dating from c. 1298, containing 115 coats with blazons, listing the knights with King Edward I at Battle of Falkirk in 1298. Various copies exist. The British Museum copy was formerly in the Treasury Chamber in Paris in 1576. The Galloway roll is an English roll dating from 1300, containing 259 coats with blazons. Roll of Caer Laverock. A poem of Caer Laverock is a roll dating from 1300, containing 110 poetical blazons without images. 2 other copies exist. exist, made by Glover from a now-lost different original source, one at the College of Arms in London, the other at the office of the Ulster King of Arms in Dublin. The original was made in 1300 by English heralds during Edward I's siege of Caerlaverock Castle, Scotland. Commentary by Nicholas Harris. Nicholas. The Siege of Caerlaverock in the 28 Edward I. AD. MCCC, with the arms of the earls, barons, and knights who were present on the occasion, with a translation, a history of the castle, and memoirs of the personages commemorated by the poet. London, 1828. Sterling roll is an English roll from 1304, containing 102 coats. Stepney roll is an English occasional roll listing the knights present at Stepney tournament in 1308. The Great Parliamentary, or Bannerets roll, c. 1312, is an English roll consisting of 19 vellum leaves, which include the names and blazons of 1,110 nobles, bishops, knights and deceased lords of the day. It is now part of the British Museum Manuscript Collection, Ms. Cotton, Caligula 18. Dunstable roll is an English occasional roll listing knights present at Dunstable tournament in 1334. Calais roll is an English roll dating from 1346 to 7, containing 116 shields in brown ink, trick to denote tinctures. This roll was probably made in the late 16th century from transcripts of accounts kept by Walter Wetterwang, treasurer of the household 1346 to 7, showing wages paid to participants at the Siege of Calais, extant in the form of about 20 16th-century manuscripts. This roll was classed as spurious by Wagner, but as one of the documentary pillars of 14th-century military studies by Aitin. Powell's roll is an English roll dating from c. 1345 to 1351. Salisbury roll is an English roll in two similar versions, the original roll, dating from c. 1463, in the collection of the Duke of Buccleuch, a descendant of the Montague family, and the later copy A, made c. 1483-5, in the collection of the British Library, catalogued as Additional Manuscript 45,133. It contains coats of arms of the Montague family, Earls of Salisbury. Copy A was formerly in the collection of Sir Thomas Wriothesley, Garter King of Arms 1505-34, and later was owned by William Smith, Rector of Melsonby. Parts are now in the British Library in London. French. The Bigot roll is a French roll dating from 1254, containing 300 coats. The armorial Weinbergen is a French roll published in two parts, containing 1,312 painted coats. It resided for a while at the Royal Dutch Association of Genealogy and Amp Heraldry, but has been returned. The present owners are not known. The Chifflet-Prunet roll is a French roll dating from c. 1285 to 1298, containing 147 coats with blazons. Armorial.Du Vermandois is a French roll of arms dating from c. 1285 to 1300, containing 1,076 blazons. Armorial.Le Breton, with 580 coats of arms, c. 1292, with addition of 144 coats of arms in the 15th century, and another 15 added c. 1530. Armorial Bellenville by Klaus Heinen, 1,738 coats of arms. Grand Armorial Equestre de l'Étoile, an armorial of the members of the Order of the Golden Fleece between 1429 and 1461, commissioned by a herald in the Duchy of Burgundy. Holy Roman Empire Torino armorial, descriptions of 119 coats of arms of the attendants of the coronation of Henry VII. The coats of arms shown with the singer portraits in Codex Manus are an important source for early 14th century heraldry. The Zurich armorial, made in c. 1340, presumably in what is now eastern Switzerland, now in the Swiss National Museum in Zurich. Gelre armorial is a Dutch roll of arms dating from c. 1370 to 1414, containing about 1,700 coats of arms. It currently resides at the Royal Library of Belgium. Wappenbuch line Zoonfisten in Luzern, 5 vol, with 59 Lucerne gilt coats of arms. Heigelmann roll is a German roll of arms made around 1447 to 1455 in Cologne. It currently resides at the College of Arms in London. Hans Ingram's armorial, 280 pages with c. 1,100 coats of arms. Wappenbuch der Österreichischen Herzog, c. 1445 to 1457, 50 vol, with some 170 coats of arms. Wernigerode armorial is a Bavarian roll of arms from around 1486 to 1492, containing 524 pages, 477 of which are illustrated with anywhere from 1 to 30 coats of arms. Stemmario Trivolziano is a Milanese roll of the second half of the 15th century, containing approximately 2,000 coats. It currently resides at Biblioteca Trivolziana, Milan, Italy. Attributed to Gian Antonio d'Artra date, it was in the possession of Gian Giacomo Trivolzio, who served as a Milanese condottiero between 1465 and 1483. It blazons the ducal arms and those of linked families such as Brandolini, Savelli, Glonna, Orsini, Scaligeri, Esten Gonzaga. Also included are the arms of the German merchant bankers Fugger. Scheibrisches Wappenbuch, c. 1450 to 1480, 624 coats of arms. Armorial of Conrad Granenberg, Constance, some 2,000 coats of arms. St. Gallen armorial, 1466 to 1470, 338 pages with some 200 coats of arms. Eichstatt armorial, 1474 to 1478, 351 pages with some 2,000 coats of arms. Palatine armorial, c. 1460, 200 vol, with 1,080 coats of arms. Heraldsbuch des Julicher Hubertusordens, 130 vol, with some 1,000 coats of arms. Leipzig armorial, c. 1450s, 96 vol, with 602 coats of arms. Miltenberg armorial, late 15th century, 85 vol, with c. 1,700 coats of arms. Berlin armorial, c. 1470, 254 pages with c. 900 coats of arms. Innsbruck armorial, c. 1460s, 157 vol, with 408 coats of arms. Gerald Edlerbach's armorial of Zurich, 1490s. Iberian The Book of Knowledge of All Kingdoms of c. 1385 goes beyond the scope of a mere armorial, being a fictional travelogue, giving an account of the geography of the known world, identifying all lands, kings, lords and their armorial devices. The book's main purpose is still that of an armorial, but fashioned in the genre of the travelogue popularized by Marco Polo and John Mandeville. Armorial de la Cofradia di Santiago, continuously updated from the Order's foundation in 1338 into the 17th century. Early modern Livro do Armero is a Portuguese official roll from 1509, compilated by João de Croo, Portugal King of Arms. It includes almost 400 real and imaginary coats of arms, including those of the 9 worthies, of the states of Europe, Africa and Asia, of the electors of the Holy Roman Emperor, of the pairs of France, of members of the Portuguese royal family and of the other noble families of Portugal. Livro da Nobreza Republicam das Armas is a Portuguese official roll from c. 1521 to 1541, compilated by António Godinho, secretary of the King John III of Portugal. It follows the model of the Livro do Armero Mor, being its update, but omitting the chapters on the 9 worthies, the electors of the Emperor and the pairs of France. Virgil Soler's Wappenbuch line, coats of arms of the nobility of the Holy Roman Empire. Fovnica armorial is an early modern Balkan roll of arms, containing 139 coats of arms. Korenic Neoric armorial, an Illyrianist armorial of the Balkans. The Belgrade armorial II is an early 17th century copy. Siebmachers Wappenbuch is a general roll of arms of the Holy Roman Empire, compiled by Johann Siebmacher around 1605. The Livro da Nobreza is a general Portuguese roll, compiled by Francisco Coelho, India King of Arms, in 1675. It includes the real and imaginary arms of the 12 tribes of Israel, of the 9 worthies, of the Romans, of the pairs of France, of the electors of the empire, of the cavalry and regular orders of Portugal, of some cities of the overseas dominions of Portugal, of the cities and principal towns of Portugal, of the kings and queens of Portugal, of the dukes and marquesses of Portugal, of the counts of Portugal and of the families. Armorial General de France, commissioned by Louis XIV of France, by Charles René Dozier, with 125,807 coats of arms. Modern Burke's General Armoury. The General Armoury of England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales, comprising a registry of armorial bearings from the earliest to the present time, by Sir Bernard Burke, Ulster King of Arms, was published in London in 1884. This roll comprises a listing of all known armoury ever used in the British Isles. J. Siebmachers Gross's Wappenbuch, ed. Otto Titan v. Hefner, Heyer v. Rosenfeld, A. M. Hildebrandt, G. A. Seeler, M. Gritzner et al. 7 volumes. Volume 1. National Coats of Arms and National Flags. Episcopal Arms. Occupational Coats of Arms. University Arms. Vols. 2-3. Nobility of Germany and Prussia. Volume 4. Nobility of Austria-Hungary. Volume 5. Bourgeois Familial Coats of Arms. Volume 6. Extinct Nobility of the Holy Roman Empire. Volume 7. Supplemental Volume. Armorial General by Jean-Baptiste Rietstap. 2 volumes. More than 100,000 coats of arms with pan-European scope. Armorial of Little Russia. Ukrainian family coats of arms within the Russian Empire.